A shocking rumor has been making waves, suggesting that Hollywood legend Gene Hackman was preparing to expose several high-profile figures linked to the Epstein scandal just before his passing. The claim has ignited widespread speculation, stirring debates about whether there was any truth behind it or if it's just another sensational conspiracy. Regardless of the rumors, Hackman's legacy remains rooted in his unparalleled contributions to cinema, leaving behind a body of work that speaks far louder than any controversy. Is there any truth to this claim? Or is it just another unfounded conspiracy theory? In this video, we take a deep dive into the rumors surrounding Hackman's final days, examining the origins of these allegations and whether there's any real evidence behind them. Was the Hollywood legend truly preparing to expose shocking secrets, or is this just speculation fueled by intrigue? Let's uncover the facts and separate truth from fiction. Join us on this journey, keep questioning, and seek the truth. These stories must not be buried and forgotten. If you believe in uncovering the facts, hit like, share, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Because the truth deserves to be heard. Gene Hackman, a Hollywood legend, an irreplaceable icon of the silver screen. His name etched in cinematic history through unforgettable roles in Unforgiven, The French Connection, and countless other classics. For decades, he was admired not only for his extraordinary talent, but also for his fiercely private life, steering clear of the scandals that often plagued the entertainment industry. But then, on that fateful day, the world was rocked by the sudden passing of Hackman and his wife. What made the tragedy even more unsettling was the eerie timing, coinciding exactly with the highly anticipated release of Jeffrey Epstein's client list. A mere coincidence, or something far more sinister? That day, the headlines exploded with shocking revelations as the long-awaited Epstein client list was finally exposed, unveiling a web of powerful figures, from politicians and business magnates to Hollywood elites. The world braced for the fallout, expecting secrets too long hidden to come to light. But in the midst of the media storm, another chilling report emerged. Gene Hackman and his wife had been found dead. The timing was too uncanny to ignore. A legendary actor, someone with undeniable ties to the upper echelons of power, passing away on the very day the list was released? The questions came fast and furious. Was this just a tragic coincidence, or was there something much darker at play? Was a buried truth lost forever with him? As the news spread, people began dissecting every detail surrounding the event. First, the location. Gene Hackman and his wife were found in their private home, a residence known for its top-tier security. There were no signs of forced entry, no prior reports of disturbances. Everything appeared unnervingly perfect, almost too clean. Then came the timing. Why that exact day, just as the Epstein list was unveiled? If this was mere coincidence, it would rank among the most improbable in history. Hackman's devoted fans immediately took to social media, igniting debates and fueling a wave of conspiracy theories. Some speculated that he possessed critical information related to the Epstein case, while others believed he may have been silenced permanently. Was this truly just fate? Or was there something far more sinister at play? So, was Gene Hackman connected to Jeffrey Epstein? Prior to this, no records or evidence had ever linked him to the disgraced financier. However, when the client list was made public, curious minds immediately searched for his name, only to find it absent. But does that truly mean he had no knowledge of the scandal? Hackman spent decades in Hollywood, building connections with some of the most powerful figures in the industry. He worked alongside directors, producers, and actors, some of whom are now rumored to have ties to Epstein. Could he have known something? Could he have been privy to secrets that others desperately wanted to keep buried? Adding to the intrigue, an anonymous source claimed that Hackman had once voiced concerns about the shadowy forces controlling Hollywood. While no concrete proof exists, the allegation only fueled speculation. Was he being watched? Had he been warned to stay silent? The questions continue to mount, and the truth may be more unsettling than we ever imagined. If you want to stay informed on more fascinating stories and breaking news about major events, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these theories? We'd love to hear your perspective and dive deeper into more captivating discussions together. A single Reddit post sent shockwaves across the internet. Was Hackman on the verge of exposing something? Did he know too much? And was this the price of his silence? The questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain. This story refuses to be ignored. Hackman's passing coincided with a day filled with earth-shattering revelations. Was it merely an eerie coincidence, or a piece of a much larger puzzle? Did he hold knowledge that some were desperate to keep buried? The truth remains elusive, but one thing is clear. The public won't let this mystery fade into obscurity. When the list surfaced online, major media outlets jumped into action. The public scoured every name, searching for familiar faces and shocking revelations. Billionaires, politicians, and Hollywood elites were exposed one by one. Yet, amid the flood of names, Gene Hackman was nowhere to be found. For many, this came as a relief. Hackman had always been known for his immense talent, his fiercely private nature, and his deliberate distance from the scandals that often consumed Hollywood. But rather than putting speculation to rest, Hackman's absence from the list only fueled more questions. Could certain names have been deliberately omitted to shield powerful individuals? And more importantly, did Hackman possess knowledge that some were desperate to keep hidden? Was the list manipulated before its release? The uncertainty surrounding these questions only deepens the mystery, leaving many to wonder if the full truth has yet to be uncovered. One of the most hotly debated topics on online forums is the credibility of the Epstein list. Many suspect that it was altered before being made public, with crucial names deliberately removed. Ever since the case first emerged, documents tied to Epstein have been under strict control. Key files have mysteriously vanished, and numerous witnesses have either gone silent or withdrawn from investigations. With so much secrecy surrounding the case, it's no surprise that people continue to question whether the full truth has been revealed. A journalist who has been tracking the Epstein case from the very start posed a thought-provoking question. Do you really think we have the full list? How many names were taken off before the public ever got a chance to see it? Their statement only intensified suspicions, raising concerns about who might be shielding powerful figures from exposure. If names were indeed removed, who was behind it? And what truths are still being kept in the dark? And this is where Gene Hackman resurfaces in the discussions. Some believe that if Hackman had planned to reveal something, he might have had access to the real list, an uncensored, unedited version. But if that were true, how did he obtain it? And more importantly, who would have had the most to lose if he spoke out? The deeper the speculation runs, the more unsettling the questions become. Although Gene Hackman's name does not appear on the list, that doesn't necessarily mean he was entirely disconnected from the case. With a career spanning over 50 years in Hollywood, he crossed paths with countless influential figures. He collaborated with directors, actors, and powerful producers, some of whom are now under suspicion for their possible ties to Epstein. Could he have learned something along the way? And if so, was that knowledge dangerous enough to put him at risk? Throughout his career, Hackman deliberately distanced himself from Hollywood's glitzy social scene. In 2004, he walked away from the industry entirely, choosing a quiet life in New Mexico. But was his decision purely personal, or had he seen something that made him want to leave it all behind? Could there have been a deeper reason for his sudden departure, one that has remained hidden until now? Another theory raises an even more intriguing possibility. If Hackman had no direct ties to Epstein, could he have still uncovered something that certain individuals wanted buried? While his name was absent from the list, many other high-profile figures were not. Hollywood, Washington, Wall Street, each had its share of powerful representatives exposed. Could Hackman have stumbled upon secrets that made him a threat? And if so, was his silence ensured by something far more sinister? Some powerful figures swiftly denied the allegations, while others chose to remain silent. As new articles surfaced, exposing fresh details, one undeniable truth remained. None of the names on the list faced significant legal repercussions. A few investigations were launched, but over time, the noise faded and the scandal slowly slipped from the headlines. Was justice ever truly pursued? Or was this yet another case of the powerful protecting their own? Followers of the case began asking a troubling question. Why does the truth always seem to be buried just as it begins to emerge? The silence from mainstream media only deepened suspicions, as major outlets selectively reported on certain names while seemingly ignoring the most powerful figures. As the chaos unfolded, yet another theory gained traction. Could Gene Hackman have been preparing to expose something critical? And if so, did someone ensure he would never get the chance? A chilling, anonymous post on a forum sent shockwaves through the discussion. If Hackman had something to say, we will never hear it. They've made sure of that. Those who support this theory argue that the timing of his death is far too convenient to be a mere accident. If he truly had crucial information, what became of it? Who had the most to gain from ensuring it never surfaced? One thing is undeniable. The Epstein list is no ordinary story. Too many questions remain unanswered. Did Hackman really uncover something explosive? How many times was the list altered before being made public? And most importantly, why have the most powerful names managed to escape justice? Until these mysteries are solved, the Epstein case and its possible connection to Hackman will remain a source of heated debate. For those who believe Hackman held a dangerous secret, one thing is certain: they won't stop searching for the truth. And one theory in particular has been gaining traction. Could Hackman have been in possession of something that someone was determined to keep hidden? Gene Hackman was never a name linked to scandal. He valued his privacy, keeping his distance from Hollywood's chaos. Yet according to some sources, his behavior had recently become unusual. A longtime friend who chose to remain anonymous told a local newspaper that Hackman seemed increasingly uneasy. "I don't know what it was, but it was big. He told me some things are better left unsaid, but sometimes the truth has to come out." These words sent chills through those following the case. Could Hackman have been holding on to a truth so dangerous that it made him fear for his safety? And if so, was this secret the reason behind his sudden death? The speculation only grows, leaving behind more questions than answers. Another source, someone who worked closely with Hackman in his later years, recalled a cryptic remark he made shortly before his passing. "They think they buried everything, but they are wrong." The chilling statement left many wondering, who was they, and what exactly had been buried? Adding to the mystery, Hackman reportedly made a final phone call to an old friend, an investigative journalist deeply involved in uncovering the Epstein case. The contents of their conversation remain unknown, but according to sources close to the situation, Hackman specifically asked about the Epstein list. Why would someone with no direct ties to Epstein be so interested in it? Was he searching for a specific name? Or even more unsettling, was he preparing to expose something that powerful people wanted to keep hidden? The questions keep mounting, but the answers remain elusive. Shortly after Hackman's death, a disturbing discovery was made. Several documents from his home had mysteriously vanished. Notes, letters, and even some of his old emails were missing. Hackman wasn't the type to keep trivial paperwork, so if he had held on to something, it was likely of great importance. One of the most unsettling details was the disappearance of a hard drive he frequently used. According to a close friend, Hackman had always guarded it carefully, yet after his passing, it was simply gone. It vanished as if it had never existed. What could this hard drive have contained? Could it have held key information about Epstein or even something more explosive? An investigative journalist later suggested that Hackman may have sent a crucial email just before his death, yet no trace of it was ever found. Some speculate that the email could have been remotely deleted or even intercepted before reaching its intended recipient. If true, it raises a haunting question. What was Gene Hackman trying to reveal? A bolder theory suggests that Hackman may have sent this email to a journalist or an organization, but they were silenced through threats. Is this the truth? Did Hackman attempt to reveal something but was stopped by someone? If the theory about Hackman's secret is true, then the most important question is, who had the motive to silence him? The Epstein list is filled with the most powerful names in the world. If Hackman held information that could expose part of this system, then he was certainly a threat. But is that all? Or is there another possibility? Hackman may not only have known about the Epstein list, but also understood how the entire system operated. Some conspiracy theories suggest that Hackman might have known about a larger, more secretive network beyond just the Epstein case. If this is true, then the motive to silence him becomes even stronger. After Hackman's death, no one can answer the crucial questions. What did the missing documents contain? Who deleted Hackman's emails? Did Hackman truly plan to reveal something? Some believe that although Hackman has passed away, the truth he held may still be out there, waiting to be discovered. A journalist who worked with him revealed that Hackman had a habit of recording important thoughts in a private notebook. If that notebook still exists, it could be the key to everything. But does the notebook still exist, or has it also been erased from history? Will the truth be buried or exposed? Gene Hackman may have left this world, but his secrets may still be there, waiting to be uncovered. If there's one thing for certain, it's that people won't stop searching for the truth. Hackman once said, "The truth has a way of coming out. It always does." Perhaps he was right, and if anyone thinks the truth will be hidden forever, they may have to face a different truth. The truth never disappears. Close associates of Gene Hackman reveal that before his death, he had a mysterious conversation with an old friend in the journalism industry. This conversation took place just a few days before Hackman passed away. An anonymous source disclosed that Gene was worried about something. He mentioned that he had discovered something big, something that could shake everything in ways no one could expect. This friend later tried to reach out to Hackman several times, but received no response. When hearing of Hackman's death, the person couldn't help but feel a chill. Did he know something he wasn't supposed to know? Although Gene Hackman was not the type of person involved in Hollywood scandals, some have wondered if there was any connection between Hackman and the powerful figures associated with Epstein in the 80s and 90s. Hackman was one of the most influential stars in Hollywood. He not only worked with many famous directors, but also had connections with some of the wealthiest and most influential people. Some sources suggest that Hackman attended exclusive events for the elite, where names now suspected to be linked to Epstein also appeared. While there is no direct evidence showing Hackman's involvement in this network, if he was indirectly connected, it's very likely that he knew more than what has been publicly revealed. History has witnessed many cases of people who knew too much about secret systems and underground criminal networks meeting tragic ends. Hackman could be just another case in the long list of suspicious deaths. Some notable examples include Gary Webb, 2004, an investigative journalist who exposed the CIA's connection to drug cartels, found with 2 gunshot wounds to the head, and although the police ruled it a suicide, many believed it was an assassination. Michael Hastings, 2013, a journalist who exposed a U.S. military scandal, had his car suddenly accelerate and explode in the street, despite having told friends he was being followed. Jeffrey Epstein, 2019, one of the central figures in the notorious scandal, was said to have committed suicide in his jail cell, despite surveillance cameras being conveniently malfunctioning at the crucial time. If Hackman truly knew something related to the Epstein list or the powerful people behind the case, his death might not have been a coincidence. When the Epstein list was released, a series of high-profile names in politics and entertainment were brought to light. However, some people noticed that the list seemed to have been edited. Certain important names were missing, despite prior evidence suggesting they had connections to Epstein. The question is whether Hackman discovered something about this editing. A journalist who worked with Hackman on a documentary project about Hollywood scandals revealed that he was digging into some issues. He asked me strange questions about the power structure in Hollywood, about who really controls everything. It felt like he was uncovering something bigger than just a scandal. If Hackman truly had information about the editing of the Epstein list or other secrets, his sudden death could have been a way to prevent the truth from being exposed. After Hackman's death, many in the film and media industry became reluctant to speak about him. Those who had worked with Hackman declined interviews. The tributes posted on social media by Hollywood stars were very generic, with no mention of anything specific about his later years. This only heightened suspicion. Could it be that an invisible fear is hanging over those who might know the truth? If Hackman really knew too much, the question arises whether anyone will continue the investigation he left unfinished, or if everything will fall into permanent silence. One thing is certain: the truth has not been fully revealed, and even though Hackman has passed, the questions surrounding his death will continue to haunt the public. The truth has a way of revealing itself. It always does. Will that day ever come, or will everything be buried forever? This scandal is not just the story of an individual, but of a system. From the moment Jeffrey Epstein was arrested to the release of his client list, a repeating pattern has been observed. Powerful names are suspected, but then everything gradually fades into obscurity. After Epstein's mysterious death in prison, people believed justice would be served, that those involved would be exposed. But instead, crucial documents vanished, witnesses went silent, and the media gradually shifted public attention elsewhere. The biggest cover-ups don't happen in the shadows. They happen right in front of us, disguised as breaking news. Gene Hackman, a Hollywood legend, passed away at the exact time this list was released. Could it be just a coincidence, or part of a bigger game? Hollywood has long been seen as a glamorous land, where blockbuster movies are born and stars become idols to millions. However, behind that shiny exterior, it's also a world full of secrets, hidden deals, and powerful figures pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Gene Hackman was not just an actor, he was also an observer. Throughout his long career, he interacted with many influential figures in the entertainment industry, including some whose names appeared on the Epstein list. Some sources suggest that Hackman had discussions with colleagues about the darker sides of Hollywood, speaking about how certain powerful individuals could manipulate the media, actors' careers, and even justice within the industry. The real script wasn't written for the movies, but to control the narrative. If Hackman truly knew about these shocking issues, could someone have tried to silence him? The issue with the Epstein list is not just a Hollywood story, but also ties into politics, business, and the world of the elite. The names under suspicion include national leaders, world-class entrepreneurs, and high-ranking figures in the entertainment industry, but it seems that very few of them actually face consequences. There is an unspoken rule in politics: real power never reveals itself. Those who control the system always find ways to ensure that the most important secrets never get exposed. It's not what you know, but who controls what you know. If Hackman accidentally or intentionally discovered a truth that could threaten the powerful figures behind the scenes, his sudden death might not be a simple accident. When the Epstein list was released, many expected the media to take strong action to expose the entire truth. However, major media outlets reported the story superficially or focused on less important names. This is not the first time this has happened. Major scandals are often buried this way, with information diluted when too dangerous a story is made public. When a story is too sensitive, many other stories are released to divert attention, controlling the narrative instead of focusing on those behind the scenes. Rather than investigating the masterminds, the media will steer the story in another direction, downplaying the severity of the issue and creating new controversies to make the public forget the main scandal. Is the media truly free, or is it just a tool for controlling information? Press freedom only truly exists if those who own the media allow it. With all these factors in mind, Gene Hackman's death becomes even more mysterious. Did he really know too much, or was he just a victim of a series of strange events? While many questions remain unanswered, one thing is certain: those in power always find ways to keep secrets. The truth is not always made public. It is often concealed under layers of fog. The silence surrounding the Epstein list, along with the suspicions surrounding Hackman's death, only fuel more troubling theories. How many others know the truth but are too afraid to speak out? Are the witnesses, documents, and evidence truly preserved, or is everything being erased from history once again? So what really happened? What was Hackman preparing to reveal? What documents did he hold that might have threatened someone's interests? Who had the motive to silence him forever? No one knows the answer for sure, but one thing is clear: a part of this story has been erased from history. Although the media has tried to divert attention, the internet remains a place where unanswered questions can persist. Forums and social media discussions continue to raise doubts. Is anyone truly investigating Hackman's death? Was the Epstein list altered before being released? Who controls the documents Hackman left behind? Do we truly want to know the truth, no matter how frightening it may be? The truth can be hidden, but it never truly disappears. If history has taught us anything, it's that every secret will eventually be revealed if enough people dare to search for it, ask questions, and keep looking. Because the truth only exists when someone is willing to protect it. The only thing stronger than a secret is a mind that refuses to forget. So we've gone through the information and theories surrounding Gene Hackman and the big names involved in the Epstein scandal. While this story still has many unclear aspects and a lot of unverified factors, it certainly makes us think about the major events that may have been concealed. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming updates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.